Indeed, Amanda, and we are broadcasting live for the first night of postseason 4A high school basketball. We're in Chanute, Kansas, inside the gym here, home of the Blue Comets. Jack Leake and Isabel Redford with you on the call, and Lucas Hayward on the KLKC Sports YouTube live stream. Good evening, Grizzly Nation, and thank you for tuning in to tonight's Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. Again, it is the first round of sub-state play. The 5 seed, the home team, the Chanute Blue Comets, coming in 14-6 on the finish up the regular season, rather. And Labette County got the 12 seed. They've lost 6 of their last 7 regular season games to finish at 9-11 on the year. Isabel, good to have you with me as always. Clock is winding down, 15 minutes and counting until tip, and it's time for some revenge, but this time when it counts most.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that we were, I think, all excited to come back here and just kind of get back at this Chanute team that really just put it to us last game, as we felt like we left a little bit here on the floor. So ironically, we're playing here back at Chanute where it all went down, but it's definitely going to be the Grizzlies looking to get the upper hand tonight. So it's going to be a fun one for sure.
As we keep referring to that last contest when we played here in this same gym, and it was a football score. Chanute beat our Labette County Grizzlies 32-27, but in that first meeting, which feels like 2 basketball seasons ago, our Grizzlies, in the midst of their 4-0 start in SEK play, beat Chanute in Altamont 50-38. So Chanute, both times out, having struggled, you mentioned this, Isabel, struggled scoring against our Grizzlies. But in the first meeting, we scored better and won. In the second meeting, they still didn't score very good, but we couldn't, so they won. So our defense, you quoted this, or I'll quote you, our defense hasn't been the problem in either game against these Blue Comets. It's been the offense. And the last time we played Chanute, we were without Joe Page.
Yeah, it definitely was one of those things where you look at the box score, and scoring was pretty even as far as who scored from both teams, but the quantity was definitely different as far as, you really missed Joe Page, as he scored 10 points the first time that these two teams met. Now, granted, it's not a lot, but it's definitely something that you need to just kind of keep that offensive momentum and production going. But, of course, Larson Custer and Caden Seamster for the Chanute Blue Comets were huge. Both games of just, they kind of both hit their averages as far as, scoring into those double figures. And the Grizzlies are going to have to kind of contain them tonight, if not outscore them, because it was definitely one of those situations where you're exactly right. Defensively, they kept them in that 30-point range, but offensive production just wasn't there. We looked sluggish. It just wasn't what we were wanting. Shots weren't falling. So it was definitely a poor performance from our Grizzlies. So I know that they're hoping to come out tonight and erase that stain that kind of left a bad taste in their mouth the last time they were here.
Blue Comets have lost 2 of their last 4. Prior to that, they had won 6 straight, as the Blue Comets really never had a down part to their season. They have never lost this year back-to-back games.
Wow.
They've always rebounded a loss with a win. And Isabel, they're coming off of a loss. So will Labette County force Chanute this evening, 1, to end their season, and 2, end it on a note in which they haven't all season, and that is back-to-back losses. The Blue Comets of Chanute were visitors to the Parsons Vikings. In fact, this is Chanute's first home game since February 14th, so they are indeed happy to be back home, as we were a couple weeks ago for sure. So Chanute coming off of a loss, coming off of 3 straight games on the road. They lost to Parsons 51-54, so a heartbreaker. Meanwhile, however, our Labette County Grizzlies coming off of a victory on senior night in Altamont, 41-39 to Field Kinley, Coffeyville, the Golden Tornado, who are playing Atchison up north tonight, as Coffeyville snagged that bottom 16 seed, playing the 1 seed Atchison this evening. We'll get into some more 4A games here later in the Tank Connection pregame show, but Isabel, Labette County coming off of a game again, scoring not where it needs to be, as history doesn't show this, but I'm going to go ahead and say that Labette needs to score more than 40 points in a mighty fashion this evening to win.
Yeah.
Chanute has not put more than 38 points on us both meetings, but you can pretty much just brainwash those. This is sub-state play. There's a different atmosphere, a different type of anxiety, a different type of nerves swirling throughout your bloodstream. So just talk about, do the last matchups play a part in this, and how many points Labette's going to have to score? Probably more than 40 to win.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that kind of target on the wall, as you would say, if they're going to have to score more than that. And I think one of these things is you see one or two things happen. Teams either play really loose in these games because they've got nothing else. I mean, you're done after this if you don't win. So there's part of it that teams tend to settle down and they play really well in these situations. Or the opposite happens and they get tight and make a little too many mistakes for the other team to be able to handle. So it's one of those situations where Labette County is going to have to, buckle down and decide what team they're going to be. Are they going to play loose, or are they going to struggle, in trying to find the bucket tonight? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But one thing's for sure is this: there is just that drive of, you don't want this to be the end, especially these senior guys that are out here. You don't want it to be the end. And so it's one of those situations where they have to kind of find that second gear and play a little bit harder and go, we're not done yet. And so I think whichever team decides, Labette County, we definitely want to be the victors on this game, but it's going to come down to whatever team, is just going to come out, play it loose, wants it a little bit more, because effort's going to be what prevails tonight.
9 minutes until tip. This was the front quarter of the Tank Connection pregame show of LC Grizzly basketball. It is sub-state, do or die, win or go home. Again, 9 minutes until tip. We're going to take our first time out of the Tank Connection pregame show. It'll be 1 minute long, and we'll return on KLKC Parsons. Show of Labette County Grizzly basketball, and we're going to talk some sub-state around the area. If you're on our live stream, you'll see the bracket pasted on your screens, as that is the sub-state in which our Grizzlies are a part of. That is sub-state bracket number 4, as in that bracket tonight, also tipping at the same time as this one, 7 o'clock, Shawnee Mission, Bishop Miege, the infamous Bishop Miege Stags that we all know and love just so much from Altamont. They're the 4 seed, 14-6 regular season. Lewisburg, the 13 seed. They will duke it out at 7, and the winner of this game will play the winner of that one on Friday. So if Labette wins and Lewisburg wins, Labette will host the sub-state championship game against Lewisburg. But again, those two things have to happen. In sub-state number 1, we'll go to the top of the page, at least on my screen. 1 seed Atchison hosting 16 seed Coffeyville Field Kinley, and the 8 seed Parsons Vikings are in the middle of their game against Topeka Hayden, the 9 seed. It is in the third quarter, and Topeka Hayden is red hot from 3, taking on the Vikings. They lead 41-22 halfway through the third quarter from Parsons, Kansas. Sub-state number 2, we'll quickly go through these. 2 seed Eudora hosting Independence, the 15 seed from the SEK. Hope all those teams do well, of course. 7 seed Wamego taking on the 10 seed Ottawa. Those are your 4 teams in that bracket. In fact, Independence's game should be halfway going on, so if you want to slide over and tune into that or try to search up the score, it's in the middle of that game. Baldwin, 3 seed, taking on Iola, the 14 seed. That game tips at 7. And the winner of that one will play the winner of Holton, the 6 seed, and Fort Scott, the 11 seed. That game is in the middle of its action as well. So many good games going on across the region in the East Sub-State bracket. All these teams trying to fight for a spot inside Tony's Pizza Event Center in Salina, Kansas, Isabel, where we got to call our Lady Grizzlies first round game last year, and we'll get to call another Lady Grizzlies sub-state game tomorrow in Baldwin at 6 o'clock. Don't forget about that. 5.5 minutes until tip from Chanute as Isabel, Labette County, as you talked about a little bit ago, the past matchups, they're fun to talk about, but you just wonder how big of a part it will play in a game like this. But again, even though it was not a long time ago, I don't know about Chanute, I don't know, but I feel like we've at least kind of found ourselves a little bit, and Labette needed that win against Coffeyville on Friday. Bad.
Yes, I definitely feel like it was a good, as far as, they had to battle a little bit, so they didn't necessarily just run away with it, but it was a really good game. I feel like that got our feet back under us. It was like, okay, we can win ball games. We do know how to, make those big plays, perform well under pressure. What happens when things get tight? How do we, keep our cool, stay focused? And I was really impressed with that on Tuesday or last weekend. So I was just really glad to see that from our guys, and so I definitely think it'll be a situation in which we're going to be able to, rebound from that, and we have a little momentum coming off of that, of being able to go, okay, yeah, we can do this. And so I definitely think it'll get these guys revved up and ready to go, especially against a very powerful Chanute offense.
As Chanute did finish, I know this is kind of history, as Pittsburgh mightily won the SEK first place outright, but Chanute, the Blue Comets, did come in second place. And Isabel, this is a Chanute team that had a share of the league title right on a silver platter on the dinner table right in front of them. As Tuesday, February 14th, a couple weeks ago, Pittsburgh came here to Chanute, and Chanute was looking for the season sweep of the Purple Dragons, and that game was to force a tie at the top of the league, but Pittsburgh beat them and flipped the script and ended up winning it far and away outright. So Chanute has had their moments. When Chanute is on, they're really good.
Yeah.
And when Chanute isn't off, they're not so good. Then again, that's pretty much like every single team ever to exist.
Yeah.
So we'll see what versions of each of these teams we'll get and who can handle the pressure of win or go home a little bit better. Not as great of an atmosphere as I was anticipating. It's actually pretty dead in terms of turnout and just pure atmosphere, Isabel. It's strange.
Yeah, I was expecting to see a little bit more, I was expecting to see a little bit more student section from both schools and just a little bit more filled into the seats, but apparently people had places to go tonight or something, because it's pretty slim. But hopefully, we've still got a little bit till tip, so hopefully that'll fill in here shortly.
As Labette County does have about, let's see, I can count them. There's 11 students over there, and Chanute can't have more than 20, if right around that. So a little bit surprised, not in a good way, here in Chanute about the atmosphere. A lot of Grizzly Nation fans just below us as we are elevated this time. If you're watching our live stream, you can tell we have relocated. Internet seems to be doing a much better job than it was down on the floor last time we were here. So we elevated up to the catwalk up here on the home side, and we're ready to roll. Just over 2 minutes until tip of sub-state basketball, Labette County versus Chanute. They will do the anthem. I would assume it's when the buzzer sounds. So let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break, and we'll return with the starters, the scene setter, and tip-off. beautifully played national anthem by Chanute's high school band. Starters are in for both teams, moments away from the first round of Sub-State. Starters for your Labette County Grizzlies. They include number 3, a 6'4" junior, Xavier Phillips. Number 4, a 5'11" senior, Trey Vinson. Number 5, a 5'8" senior, Griffin Eaton. Number 15, a 6'8" junior, Hudson Baker. And number 23, a 6'3" junior, Matthew Boyle. And Joe Page, unlike the last time the men in red made their way into this building, Joe Page is playing tonight. Chanute hasn't seen Joe Page since that first meeting on January 3rd, and so they're going to get a taste of Big Joe here this evening. Starters for Chanute are in as well. Number 3, a 6'1" junior, Lars Custer. Number 5, a 6'2" junior, Caden Seamster. Number 22, a 5'11" senior, Parker Manley. Number 31, a 6'2" senior, Parker Henson. And number 35, a 6'1" sophomore, Elliott Stevenson. Both of these teams match up very well, especially if they are both playing at similar levels, which in both games, in the first one, Labette was just a couple clicks quicker up and down the floor and won it by a dozen. But in the last game here on this floor, Chanute beat our Grizzlies 32-27. It was as ugly of a game as you'll ever watch. Nobody scored more than 32 points, and Chanute was victorious. Labette looking for revenge here in Powder Blue Country. Of the Blue Comets, head coach for your Grizzlies, Bradley Argabright. Assistants, Brian Tucker and Davey Brown. Head coach for Chanute, Devin Crabtree. Assistants, Jeff Smith and Jeremy Wire. We're going to step aside for tonight's scene setter of Grizzly basketball, and when we come back, we will have tip-off. Broadcasting live. Meister for 3 in the lead! Yes! From the studio of KLKC Parsons, Wilson launches another 3, and it's pure for Shelby Wilson! This is Grizzly basketball on 106.7 FM KLKC Parsons. Unbelievable win! I cannot believe it! All 10 athletes on the hardwood. A powder blue C standing for Chanute is running right through the heart of the half-court stripe. Hudson Baker toe-to-toe at mid-floor with Parker Henson. He stands at 6'2". It's tipped and won by Henson, and Chanute has it. Stevenson, kick, three-pointer Manley, no good. Real quick out of the gate shot by Chanute, rebound Labette.
As that would have definitely been a way to kind of set the tone here, but thankfully that bounced off the front of the rim and into the arms of Trey Vincent.
Vincent at the top of the key, off the feed from fellow point guard Griff Eaton. Dump down Baker, easy mismatch, and he'll hurl it out of bounds. As man, he's got what looks like from our angle a foot over that defender and elected to kick it out.
Yeah, that's definitely a mismatch that hopefully we'll see him take advantage of, but not a bad idea as Boyle was pretty wide open, just unfortunate on the timing as it went right over his hands.
Just the third possession of the game if you're just tuning into the station. Left wing, Chanute has it. Zeros on the scoreboard for each team, not even a minute in. Seamster, right side, he'll flip it. Custer, defended by Boyle. Boyle's just played so well from that Burlington tournament on. Stevenson with a flip, left side in front of Labette's bench. Henson, ball has yet to touch the paint on this possession. Custer, he'll touch it, he'll drive, he'll shoot and miss. Tipped around, gets his own. Pounding with the left, shoots with the left and misses with the left. Rebound Phillips. Labette rip and running. Nobody stopping Phillips. He'll lean, shoot a circus shot off the glass that misses.
Oh, and then Trey's going to pick the pocket of Custer as he wasn't really ready.
And then Chanute steals it away. Both these teams turning it over and hoisting shots that they should not be taking. Stevenson, this one's wide open, and he misses it. Rebound Boyle. Sometimes in these games where the players know that it means something, it takes about half a quarter to settle in.
I was just getting ready to say, I think that's what we're seeing is just these kind of pregame nerves, as all this is very uncharacteristic, as Seamster's going to get a wide open
That's
steal.
A carry. Yeah. Sorry, Isabella.
No, you're good.
That's a good call.
I can only talk so fast. I saw it happening. And
my apologies, but yeah, that's a good call. As Seamster carried it, he tried to stutter step and just got caught palming the basketball. So Labette has it. each team with a couple turnovers early. If you count poor shots as turnovers, each team would have 3 or 4. Not quite 2 minutes in, 0-0. Phillips nearly travels, finds Baker, right elbow, just inside the arcing navy blue three-point stripe, running from corner to corner. Eaton, deep left side, pick and roll Boyle. He shoved, no call. Boyle will settle left elbow. Vincent has it, dumped down Baker. He's double team, kicks it out. Boyle, top of the key. Trey is in and out. Rebound Phillips, he skies. He'll give it to Baker. Deep post position, 2 dribbles, hook off the glass, almost got the bucket, but gets the foul. And Hudson trying to break the ice in Chanute.
As that was a much better offensive possession from the Grizzlies, as Chanute's doing a good job of trying to double team Baker, but that left Matthew wide open, and I could see that being a benefit here come future quarters here, as hopefully one of our Grizzlies will get hot and we can look for him to score.
5:42 first quarter. Hudson at the line. He missed the first. The second is good. 1-0 Labette County gets the first point of the evening. Lars Custer crosses half court, switches hands right to left. Here's a kick to the corner. 3-point shot is no good off the front and back side of the rim. Trey Vincent the rebound. Chanute ice cold. What a pass to Boyle. He'll cut and score. Vincent threw it from well beyond the arc to the low left block. A gorgeous find from Trey.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful. They cut up Chanute's defense pretty good there, as they didn't really have time to get set, and Boyle was already crashing to the glass.
Custer left wing in front of an animated Coach Argabright wearing red. Here's a steal. Xavier takes it away, gets his angle, Euro step, it's good, and Labette leads it 5-0 with 4:50 to go in quarter number 1.
As Labette County, you can just tell, is kind of feeling more comfortable, taking those chances, and they're settling in, as Chanute is still looking for their first basket.
As an offensive foul is called on Chanute. So another turnover for the Blue Comets. As the way that the last game ended, Chanute winning 32-27, you left with the heartbreak feel. It was here against Chanute. It's a perfect concoction for Labette to win the next time around.
Yeah, it is for sure. So we'll see what Labette County can do, as there's always time for Chanute to come back, as they like to do that as well.
Baker working underneath, misses one, gets his own, and scores easily. Hudson Baker towering above the rest. 7-0, Labette, 4:15 first quarter.
As I'm not sure, Chanute didn't get a body on him whatsoever, so he had every right to that offensive board.
A backdoor cut to Seamster, launches a 3 and airballs it right to Stevenson, who lays it in. That was just pure good fortune. Seven to 2 Labette County, 3:45 first quarter. Eaton, top of the key, defended well by Manley. Vincent switches with Eaton and gets it. Baker away from the ball, no substitutions from either coach yet. 3:30 first quarter now. Labette working the floor left to right in their road reds as Vincent dribbles near the foot of the powder blue sea at midcourt. Chanute working right to left. A pick and roll. Baker was open. Griff didn't see him. Vincent is double teamed. Boyle underneath, has room, reverses missed. Eaton put back, yes! Timeout Chanute, Labette County rolling early here in Chanute, 9-2, good guys on top. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Labette County causing sparks to fly off the hardwood before us. Isabel, what has gone right for our Grizzlies?
They're just, what we kind of talked about in pregame is, needing the offense to click. So far we're seeing that as they're getting cuts and they're, shaking their man off and getting open, and it's just been really good to see here early.
Chanute has it, and a travel is called on Seamster out of the timeout. Chanute just flustered as Jordan Duncan, a sharpshooter for the Blue Comets, checks in for Parker Manley. Parker Manley. There's two Parkers on Chanute's starting five. A substitution for Labette as Joe Page checks in, as that 9-2 lead was ballooned with Joe Page sitting on the navy blue cushioned benches down here. So to see him in the game with the 7-point lead is nice. Eaton wide open left wing three is good! Trey Vincent cans it from deep, and Labette goes up double digits.
As that was just a perfectly run half set offense there, as he was perfectly open in position for that shot, and he took it.
Duncan whips it, a backdoor pass, hits the rim. It was a pass and it hit the rim. Here comes Eaton trying to cross over, gets by Custer. Sluggish to get back, Eaton with the floater, and that's probably going to be a charge, and it is.
Yeah, as you knew one of those were coming, and Seamster took a few of those in the last match, so he definitely was prepped for that one.
2:20 first quarter. That is the first foul on Labette County, and that does go on Griffin Eaton. Labette up 12-2 on Chanute Sub-State round one, as Chanute student section has grown to the back wall now. With about 3 minutes until tip, it was a dry atmosphere in here. At least it's grown a little bit.
Yeah, it's always good to see, as you want it to be the best it can be for both these teams.
Phillips gambles on a pass, loses the gamble. Here's a kick out three. Stevenson misses it short. Rebound Griff. Rip and run for Labette. Eaton pushes the pace. Page, wide open tray ball is short. Baker was wanting to flirt with an over-the-back call, but pulled his hand back. Chanute already the other way. Seamster bricks the layup. Rebound Trey. Vincent this direction. In the corner, Phillips, extra pass. Page, he'll try again and miss short. Short corner rebound goes to the Blue Comets.
As you wanted one of those to go in so bad, as he was open both times, but just a little bit short for Joe. So we'll see if he can warm up here.
Stevenson right wing, minute 15 first quarter. Seamster top of the key, wide open shot is missed again, barely grazed the rim. Chanute not really shooting any shots inside, as Baker's going to shoot one inside easily. He misses it, gets his own and scores. That is so easy.
Yeah, as there is definitely a mismatch there, as Chanute tried to double team him early, but they haven't been able to contain him since, as Coach Argerbright's going to hype the bench up as these guys are on defense now, as he's really wanting to build the atmosphere here in Labette County's favor.
Custer drives, dump down Stevenson, wide open shot is good. Stevenson has all four, and both of them wide open layups. 14-4 Labette, 30 seconds first quarter. Well officiated contest, just 3 combined team fouls, 2 on Chanute, 1 on Labette. 20 seconds as Trey Vincent is just burning clock, defended by Custer. 15 seconds now, Argerbright calls in the play as a dozen seconds ticks by. And now we move, Eaton left wing, pressured hard by Duncan. At the free throw line, inside is Phillips, harassed and it's stolen. Here's Duncan, now Custer at the buzzer, off the glass and no good, but it did dip down inside the rim before it rolled out. At the end of one, Labette leads Chanute 14-4. We'll be back in 1 minute with quarter number 2 on KLKC.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Labette County gets the ball to start the second quarter up 10, looking for their largest lead of the contest in Sub-State. It's a turnover. Phillips drove into a bunch of white jerseys and turned it over. Stevenson looking for points 5 and 6, misses the layup, focused too much on the foul. Here comes Vincent, doesn't have numbers, he'll slow it down.
As that is one thing, these refs aren't calling a bunch, or at least not a lot of touch fouls, which is nice, but players are going to have to adjust to that and know that there really's got to be contact, otherwise you got to finish that shot.
As on Friday, if you got too close to him and breathed on him, it was a foul. As Hudson's fouled underneath, that was a foul. You could hear it from here, and Hudson's going to go shoot two. Hudson split his first pair, just 40 seconds into quarter number 2. That foul goes on Chanute as the first free throw is good. That foul goes on Custer, his first and the team's third. Second for Hudson, good.
He has definitely been a amazing free throw shooter for us this season. It's always nice when your big man can get the foul and then make the conversion of the points on the other side at the line.
He's got 7 points. Custer left wing. Here's a drive and a kick. Custer's, his pass is deflected out of bounds by Page. It'll stay with Chanute.
As Coach Argerbright is now going to sub Matthew Boyle and Kagan Bateson for Griff Neaton and Xavier Phillips. So those two guys will take a seat. Great minutes from them early on here. We'll see what the new recruits can do.
Here's a pass inside, or into play. Bates maybe could have stolen it, elected to buckle down and get ready for the defensive possession. 6:55 second quarter, Labette up 16-4. Another Chanute turnover. Duncan pitches it out of bounds.
As I'm not sure if that was just a miscue or just an overcalculation by Duncan, but that was just an unfortunate turnover, as definitely wasn't caused necessarily by the Grizzlies.
Kagan Bates walking it up, running point off the bench for Coach Argerbright. Right hand, he's pounding it, picks up his dribble, he's harassed. Page in the corner. Boyle cuts, and he'll try to get it. Turnover, Labette. Argerbright turns in disgust.
As when you get a turnover like that, you don't want to come over and onto the other end of the floor and turn the ball over again. So
Seamster drives, maybe had a lane, but gave it to Stevenson, who missed the runner. Rebound Hudson, outlet Trey. He'll dribble into some trouble and somehow maintain control of the rock. Long bounce pass to Kagan. Left elbow Boyle, dump down Baker. Catches it, tries to, goes up, and scores. He's got 9. No one can guard Hudson Baker.
Yeah, as that pass was kind of bobbled there at first, and thankfully Hudson just kind of wrangled it in and went up strong.
Coach Crabtree has his sleeves pulled up to the joint of his elbow, and I don't think he's uncrossed his arms all game long. 5:45 second quarter, 18-4 Labette. Dump down, little bit of a mismatch. Custer has some size on Trey, but Trey makes him pick up his dribble. Here's Duncan. A drive for Seamster off the give. Runner is good.
As they've been trying to go down that middle of the paint for a long time, and finally they are successful.
Bates with the jump stop, hook pass, Boyle, left hand lay in, good! Kagan Bates doing Kagan things, 20-6, Labette on top.
As I thought he might go take that up for basket himself, but beautiful just attention to detail there as Matthew was wide open to take the basket. So nice assist there from number 2.
It's not a stretch to say Kagan's the best passer on this team. I know Trey Vincent and Griff might not agree with that, but it's an argument that could be made as we have a foul underneath. And I think on the shot, yes, shooting 2 is going to be Custer. He was inside ground and pounding, and they're going to get Trey Vincent. That's his first and the team's second of the half.
As compared to the last game against Coffeyville, this is a very low foul count anyway, so definitely good to see here.
First free throw is good for Larson Custer, his first point of the game. Stevenson has 4 of Chanute's 7, as we have a substitution from Coach Crabtree. Number 32, a 5'11 junior, Brax Peter, checks in for the Blue Comets as he replaces Parker Henson. Second free throw is good for Custer as well. This is a Chanute team that is sneakily a deep team.
Yes.
They bring Duncan off the bench, Peter off the bench. Here's a dump to Phillips just inside the arc. Bates wide open for 3 in the corner. A high arcer that misses, rolls off of Boyle's fingertips. It was an air ball. Sometimes those are hard to rebound. It'll be Chanute ball.
As that was kind of Chanute's defense was collapsing a little bit on Labette County there as they were kind of forced to put up a shot.
As a 20-8 lead can be awfully deceiving, because if they go on a 4-0 run, it's just an 8-point game, which doesn't look like anything to the eyeballs. So it's a lead, but it's not a lot. As Duncan hits a three-pointer and gets it to go, is certainly, I'm not trying to take away from what we've done. We've played the best that we could on the road early, but early leads can be deceiving.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, after Duncan shot that 3, this team's a really – Chanute has those three-point shooters, so you got to be careful and know where those guys are.
This is a Chanute team that I don't want to say likes to play down as they get a steal, but I went back and watched some of their games, and they're a team that they like to grind, and they've faced some big deficits and come back and won or lost some of those by a close margin. Custer dumped down on Eaton, left-hand hook, bricks it. Stevenson, or that's not Stevenson, that's Peter. Underneath, shoots it, and he's fouled and he'll shoot 2, as that's by far the loudest roar that we've heard from this gym all game.
Yeah, and I would imagine it's just going to get a little bit more intense as the night goes on, as we're finally starting to see some life as the game's getting, Chanute's kind of trying to claw their way back into it.
2 free throws for Brax Peter. The first one swirls around the rim and out. That foul goes upon Xavier Phillips, his first and the team's third, each team with 3 team fouls now. Trey Vinson back in for Labette, replacing Kagan Bates. Peter's second, no good as well. Rebound Xavier. Empty trip for Chanute amidst the loud roars and momentum, bringing it into that half-court set. Vincent in between the right wing and corner, corrals it, flips it left side, Griff. They're just playing catch. Here's Vincent inside the paint, spins, shoots, and scores! That's a pretty move from Trey Vincent.
Yeah, that was just gorgeous. Floater right into the net, no off the backboard or anything, just a perfect shot.
Labette already with more scores in this game than they had the last time we played Chanute, and nearly more points. Labette scored 27 in 4 quarters last time we were here, and they've got 22 with 3 to go in the second quarter as Stevenson gets his 6th point off a left-hand floater.
Yes, Chanute's kind of finding their footing as well, and Labette County's going to have to continue to respond here as they've done so well early.
Page open for 3 in the corner and drains it, and Coach Argerbright wants a 30-second timeout to sit a little bit longer on the lead that just went right back to a dozen. We'd like to keep it here and thank Labette Health for making our jobs possible to bring Labette County to your vehicles and living rooms. Invite you to stay tuned for our eye care associates of Parsons, Doctors Gilmore, Newland, and Ray halftime show, as well as that Bowen Pharmacy postgame show, where we will hear from head coach Bradley Argerbright. A few other sponsors we would like to thank include the following.
Other sponsors for tonight's game include Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clements Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Walk Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Tink Connection, Wood Insurance Center, the Unified School District of USD 506, the Corner Store of Altamont, Dan Zimmerman, and SEK Orthopedic.
Chanute with it off the Coach Argerbright timeout. 25-13 Labette County, 2:38 second quarter from Chanute. A set play, Stevenson in the corner, head fakes on the 3 and pulls it waist high. Rotates it right to left around the arc. Here's a drive for Custer, double teamed by Page and Eaton. and has to flip it out to Seamster. Catches it with one hand, goes downhill on Baker, loses it, turns it over. Vincent, long pass is tipped. Phillips corrals it, up ahead one-on-one. Awkward shot is missed, rebound Chanute.
That was good effort there by Labette County, as there was a little bit of contact there, but again, they're letting them play through that, and so just unfortunate as Xavier was so close to finishing it.
2-minute mark in the first half. 13-25, Labette on top of Chanute. Seamster, top of the key, offset to the left, drives downhill, and a foul, and the bucket is going to be signaled in. That's on Griff Eaton. And now it's a 10-point lead for Labette. One free throw coming for Caden Seamster. That's the second on Griff and the fourth on Labette as a squad. The and one for Seamster's missed, and it's going to be rebounded by Custer as Baker hit the deck, and then Baker gets Custer's miss, and then a foul on Lars going the other way.
That's just kind of unfortunate because he just kind of got tied up with Baker, but Baker had position, so yeah, that's going to be a foul, and that'll be Custer's second personal foul. Chanute's fourth team foul, so he's going to get subbed out, and Parker Henson is going to come in for Custer as he'll have a seat.
Big second foul there. We won't see him for the next minute 40 if I had to guess, as he frustratingly throws an empty water cup into the trash can. 90 seconds first half, Labette up 10. If they could hold on to double digits at half, that would be nice. Page playing skip pass, recess with Griff Eaton on each elbow. Baker in the corner now, nearing beyond the arc as Argabright signals to Eaton as he catches it to just slow down. Coach wanting to burn some clock, it looks like. Crabtree, each hand resting upon each hip as he just watches on. Left wing, Chanute just kind of bouncing around in a 2-3 zone with Hudson Baker being dominant underneath. 50 seconds. We'll see what Argabright wants to do. I think they're holding for one shot.
Yeah, I think so too, or they're at least going to try, if they can catch Chanute's defense on a wide open, as they're running a 2-3 zone right now, not trying to leave any of the pocket underneath open, but looks like now as it ticks down under 30 seconds, that's what they might do.
Under 30 seconds and counting first half. So if Labette does do what they're wanting to do, at minimum, we'll have a 10-point lead heading into the locker room. 18 seconds. Chanute begins to press a little bit upon the ball handler. Duncan on Eaton. 12 seconds. Phillips right wing. Skip pass, Page opposite wing. Eaton open. One more skip. Trey right wing, 3 bricks. Rebound Chanute. After all that, I kind of would like to have had a better shot, as Chanute's going to get a decent look. Duncan misses it. Oh, he made me hold my breath for a moment. Not the best execution by Labette at the end of the quarter, when normally they're pretty good, but they do hold a 25-15 lead at the end of the first half, that of which flew by here in Chanute. We'll be back in 2 minutes with our eye care associates of Parsons, Drs. Gilmore, Newland, and Ray halftime show. welcome in Grizzly fans or basketball fans. We welcome any of those coming over from the Parsons game or Chanute viewers, listeners, whatever the case may be. Labette County leads Chanute 25-15 at the halftime break. Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show is live. Jack Leak with Isabel Redford on the call. Lucas Hayward on the KLKC Sports YouTube live stream. We've hit nearly 100 viewers on multiple occasions in that first half, so thank you guys for tuning in to the YouTube platform as well. Leading scorers for you for Labette County, Hudson Baker led the way with 9 points. Griff Eaton had 5. Matthew Boyle had 4. Joe Page had 3. Xavier Phillips and Trey Vincent each had 2. Isabel, they could not guard Hudson Baker.
Yeah, no, they tried, and early on they did give him some fits, double teaming them and different things. But eventually they were able to catch him just wide open and getting those different looks and everything in there. So it was awesome to see as he took advantage of those mismatches and was able to really put some big shots up on the board for us.
For Chanute, 4 different scorers compared to Labette County's 6. Stevenson had 6 points. Seamster had 4. Duncan had 3, and Custer had 2. The last time we played Chanute here at halftime, the score was Labette County 12, Chanute 10. Well, Labette County scored more than 12 points in the first quarter this evening.
Wow.
At the end of the first quarter, it was Labette County 14-4, and then Chanute did what they needed to do and kept it arm's length. They tied Labette County in the second quarter. Each team had 11 points. So Isabel, everyone's tired of hearing us talk about the last contest, so we're not going to because this is fresh, and we have a whole nother first half to talk about. Labette County controlled it. Both teams, it was a turnover festival early. Chanute missed a lot of shots. None of them looked close. So we'll see if that continues. It very well could flip, and they could be on fire. But I'm going to go ahead and say it again. If this lead goes to 15, it's a different story than if it's cut to 5 and coach is forced to call a timeout.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those scenarios that, if you're Coach Argabright and you're, the Grizzlies, you want to understand the fact that these guys do like to play from behind. And we've seen them cut deficits. We've seen them, you can't ever count this team out because, just because you have a 10-point lead or just because you have, you're up on them right now or you felt like you had momentum in that half doesn't mean you've sealed anything. There's still, 2 quarters left to go. And so it's one of those things that these guys are determined. They're not going to, hang their heads just because, you're up by 10. And so I definitely agree with that. It's one thing we've seen Labette County in these situations before where it's like, well, we need to swing it, to the 5-point deficit, get ourselves back in it. But in this scenario, Labette County needs to be the team that comes out strong and swings at 5 points their direction because that's going to be the biggest kind of tell is, Chanute missed a lot of shots in the first half. Well, that could easily, the script could be flipped this second half. So you got to come out. You got to know where Custer and Seamster are. And Duncan, as he hit an early 3, you got to know where those guys are. Keep them, make them drive, make them score on the inside rather than getting those big 3-ball shots. And then I think Labette County definitely has a chance. If they just keep putting that on them, we will see the Labette County Grizzlies victorious at the end of this next half.
As Hudson is, the leading scorer, he had 9, nearly doubling up the second leading scorer with Griff, who had 5. But while every time he's caught it, it's been a pure dominant performance and it's been easy for him to just turn and lay it in, it still doesn't feel like it's just been Hudson beating Chanute.
No, yeah.
The defensive end has been great from all 5 players on the floor. Kagan Bates had a great hook pass to Matthew Boyle, who scored twice. Trey Vincent had a nice spin move and a floater. Joe Page hit a 3. So it's not like Hudson has 13 or 15, which he probably could, but I like this in the long run better. Because if Chanute tries to shut down Hudson, let's pretend that they do, and he scores twice and has 4 points and a free throw in the second half, which is shutting him down. The way Labette played in that first half, I still like our chances.
Yeah, I do as well, because that is what has been so good about this Grizzly team is just because there's talent across the board, but just because, for the fact that, the Knights Hudson has had the mismatch and different things, they do a good job of spreading the wealth, I guess is what you could say, as every guy looks to score. I feel like we always have a really spread box score, and I like that about our team because it isn't necessarily, who can score the most. I mean, if you go into double figures and you have a great night, good for you. We're going to support you in that. But these guys love to pass the ball and get it to whoever's open to make the big plays, and that's what I love about our team. And so I agree with you. I love our chances if Hudson gets shut down, because just because he gets shut down means there's 4 other guys that have that opportunity to fill in that gap.
And the way that first half went, I'm not so sure they will shut him down. But we shall see. Crabtree's one of the better ones in the SEK. We'll see what he has drawn up. Just over 2 minutes until the beginning of the third quarter from Chanute. Labette leads 25-15. This has been your Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. We'll be back in 2 minutes on KLKC. As Chanute scored right out of the gate, Caden Seamster on the bucket for the Blue Comets to cut the Labette County lead to 8 in a flash.
Because that's kind of what we talked about at halftime, is you don't want that run to swing it against you. So Labette County needs to respond and needs to remember to know where those guys are on defense.
Griff Eaton, as all 5 starters are on the floor for Labette in their red uniforms. And here's Labette County's chance at it. At the top of the key, well beyond. Here's Baker. And Xavier Phillips is bent over the trash can down here. Maybe a little bit exhausted, nauseous. As he comes out of the game, Joe Page quickly in for Xavier. Hope that Xavier's okay. And Labette will inbound underneath their own rim. Here's a pass in, deflected by Custer, out of bounds. Chanute with a different sense of energy to begin the second half, 1 minute in.
They're definitely playing with a little bit of more mojo, as Labette County just kind of, again, trying to get their feet under them.
Eaton to throw it in. Vincent wide open right wing. He'll let it rip and hit. Labette goes up 11. That's a big response from Trey Vincent.
He was left wide open, and Chanute didn't even, they just kind of stood and looked at him. They were like, well, take it if you want. And he made them pay big time.
Seamster drives off the glass. It's contested by Vincent. Seamster wants the foul, and he'll walk back, if that. Now he starts to jog. Here's Page in the corner, ball reversal. Eaton dumped down Baker, and Seamster gets the steal. Long pass to Stevenson up ahead, working around Vincent, and that's probably a block. Yeah, that's the right call.
As he wasn't quite set, and I feel like he could have maybe tried to sell that a little bit more, but nonetheless, it'll still be a blocking foul.
I remember being scared to take charges, not because of the contact. I was always scared I was going to hit my tailbone on the hardwood. I'm a pretty bony person, so I was always scared of that. As off the inbound, Seamster came to play in the third quarter, gets the bucket plus the foul, and he's going to head to the line to potentially make this an 8-point game, 6:20 third quarter.
That'll just be the first personal foul on Hudson. 2 team fouls for Labette County this half so far.
And one bricked, and it's rebounded by Eaton, tracking it down on the sideline. Pass to Page, right back to Eaton, 3-pointer, top of the key. Bingo! Griff Eaton hits it. Labette back up 12.
As that was just a beautiful shot by Griff Eaton, as he had full confidence in that one.
Griff Eaton and Trey Vincent each with a 3 in the third quarter. Here's Custer underneath, and it's like a bird cage in here now. Already 3 team fouls on Labette County. That one on the floor, that's 3 on Griff. And with Xavier still down here being tended to over the trash can, well, that's a little bit limited now. Ball is in. 5:50 and counting, third quarter. Labette up 12. A drive from Seamster. Call a jump on that. Yeah! That's a jump ball, and it'll be Labette County ball.
As that was a great way to save the possession there, as they just had to fight all they could to keep Chanute from getting to the rim, and they did so. So good call there, as Labette County's going to take it the other way.
Labette crosses half court. Eaton's double team, finds Baker, body bumped. He'll drive, and that's probably going to be a charge. Yep. That was a good sell.
Yeah.
I think it was Custer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, as that'll be the second personal foul on Baker. So quick 2 for him here, as he didn't have any personal fouls in the first half, but you don't want him to pick up any quick more here.
31-19, 5:30 third quarter. Top of the key. Seamster left open, pulls it down, spins, nice move, dump down. Stevenson floater is missed. Fighting for it is him and Hudson wins it. Baker has it and finds Trey Vincent. Labette has withstood an early Chanute push made by Caden Seamster, who has 4 third quarter points. Handoff for Eaton. Screens are being set. Joe Page in the corner, not there. Eaton shoots a fader from 10, misses it short. Rebound Stevenson. He'll take it the whole length of the floor and airball a floater with the left hand. Vincent goes behind the back, a nice move. Hook pass Page. What a pass. Here's the 3, and it's good. What a pass. Trey Vincent to Joe Page.
As he almost lost the handle on that, but seeing Joe just slide down into the corner, Trey was able to get it to him, and Joe Page, I don't even think rattled the net on that shot.
9 points by Labette in the third quarter. A 3 from Joe, Griff, and Trey. A 3 from Chanute. Short. Rebound is snagged by no one as it hits the baseline. It'll be Labette ball. 4:19 in the third quarter. Labette up 15. Boyle checks out, and it's good to see Xavier Phillips back in.
Yes, he's definitely a resilient player, so to run off the floor like that, you get a little bit concerned, but good to see him back.
Labette can take their largest, or add to their largest lead of the game. It sits at 15 right now. Here's Baker at the free throw line, looking for the dump down to Phillips. He'll get by one man. Jump stop, Phillips in the corner, doesn't take the 3, finds Baker again. He'll lean and throw it down. Hudson Baker rocking the rim in sub-state. Labette up 17.
As that was a gorgeous pass from Phillips, and then Baker riding all the way to the rim with Seamster on his back. What a play there from 15.
3:40 third quarter. Labette's outscored Chanute 11-4 in this quarter alone. 3:30 to go in it. Here's a reverse layup by Stevenson, and he gets the benefit of the trickle, and he now has 8 points on the contest. Eaton has to cross half court, still walking slowly, and now does. Vincent left wing. It's a backdoor lob. Phillips catches, collects, and scores. It wasn't a dunk like it was on Friday, but the points are the same.
Yeah, that was definitely a pretty, same execution, just a great drawn-up play there. We'll take the 2 from Phillips.
Seamster lets one rip and hits it deep left wing, and Coach Crabtree calls a 60-second timeout as Chanute hits a much-needed 3 from Seamster as he has 7 third-quarter points. We'll be back in 1 minute. Labette up 14 on KLKC.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Chanute implementing a full court press now on Labette as Caden Seamster hit a deep three-pointer that was vital for Chanute to stay alive. Labette leads 38-24, and now they get it across half court. On the floor is Griff Eaton, Joe Page, Hudson Baker, Xavier Phillips, and Trey Vinson with the ball. Trey is harassed. Stutter steps, and a block is called on Chanute, and Blue Comet fans disagree. That's the first foul on Chanute of the half. That's 3 on Custer, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm taking your job from you.
It's okay.
2:30 to go in the third quarter. Vinson gets it off the sideline inbound. Eaton deep right side. Baker sets a screen, pick and pop catch, top of the key straight away. Now Phillips left side, cutters. Vinson looking for his second 3 of the half and gets it over the front of the rim. Trey Vinson, as hot as the color of jersey he's wearing, as Labette is back up 17.
Everybody's shooting threes tonight. I love it. As Joe Page is going to block a three-point attempt, but then Custer's going to get the ball back in his hands, so the ball will stay with Chanute.
Stevenson will drive, flip it up and miss. Rebound, Joe Page. Man, Labette has controlled this game on both ends, and I mean controlled it. Just tempo. Obviously scoring, they're up 17. Defensive effort, energy. It has been in Labette County's driver's seat. 95 seconds, third quarter. Baker, turn and give. Phillips denies the 3. Inside Baker, one dribble, turn, give. Page in the corner for 3. You betcha! You betcha! Joe Page drills it. Labette goes up 20 on the road.
As now Coach Argerbright's going to get the 3 rows deep, a student section that we have fired up, and man, that was a shot that really got Labette County going there.
Stevenson drives, it's back by Phillips, out of bounds. Hits the navy blue mats, pasted on the wall on the far end firmly as Phillips volleyball spiked that one. Chanute to inbound. Minute 10, Duncan, left wing 3, good.
As you can count on him to always kind of bring you back a little bit, as that definitely was a clean 3 that inbounds play ran just for him.
5 3-pointers made by Labette in the third quarter alone. 7 on the game. 50 seconds and ticking. 4 out, 1 in for Labette. Joe Page creeping in the left short corner. Vinson one-on-one with Custer. Dribbles with the right and finds Griff. Here's Trey in front of our traveling student body. Phillips comes to collect. 26 seconds. Hopefully Labette has better execution at the end of the quarter than they did in the first half.
Yeah, I'd like to see a good shot attempt or at least a make here. That would be really nice to just kind of continue to put the exclamation point on this game.
10 seconds. Vinson tries to get downhill and then dribble weaves his way back out beyond the arc. 5 seconds. Eaton right wing. They've got to go. Baker finds Vinson for 3 off the glass. He misses it. Rebound Duncan. He'll heave, but not in time. At the end of 3, Labette still doing their job. Outscored Chanute by 7 in that quarter. 44-27. Labette rolling in sub-state, but still 8 minutes to go. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Grizzly Basketball on KLKC Parsons.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
27-44, Labette County on top. 7:50 to go in the ball game as Chanute has just inbounded it. Duncan for three straight away, misses it, rebound Baker. Big miss.
Yeah, as that definitely could have kind of continued to keep Chanute within arm's reach. But if Labette County plays like they did in the third quarter, it's going to be an interesting finish here.
30 seconds into the fourth quarter. Baker catches it at the left elbow, calls for Trey to come get it. Drive kick. Griff wants a three, misses short. Rebound, Baker backside. Right block, working on Seamster. Now he flips it out. Vincent playing confident this evening, as is every player that traveled from Altamont. This looks like the Labette team we knew and loved back in late December, early January. Every bit of it and then some. Eaton body bumps Duncan. Boyle back in the game for Labette. Joe Page on the bench. Boyle collects underneath, draws a contact, almost got the bucket, but will settle for two at the charity.
As that was just kind of a nice look there from Trey, as Matthew just curled perfectly and only had one defender to go through, as he almost finished the bucket, but we'll take the free throw.
Boyle's first of two is missed. 6:56 to go, first round sub-state. Labette 44, Chanute 27. Boyle's second is no good as well, as Parker Manley's back in the game for Chanute. Custer's going to drive. It's do or die for Chanute at the moment as Eaton gets his hand on it. Custer hits the deck, picked up by Seamster. 2-on-1, Stevenson leans, shoots, and misses. Rebound Xavier. Wow, what a sequence.
As I almost thought Hudson was going to get the foul, and then looks like Elliott Stevenson's going to draw the foul on Trey, as they kind of cut me off mid-sentence. Baker went up hard, and I thought they might get him for the foul, but they didn't, so we'll take it.
6:30 fourth quarter. As you don't want to have to say the old saying, you know, the clock is your friend. I want to score 60 points so Chanute has no chance.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking here is.
Duncan gets a nice paw on it and steals it up ahead. Custer, and that's an offensive foul! As I thought I saw something interesting taking place, as after the foul was called, Custer hit the deck hard, got tangled up with Baker. Baker popped to his feet and helped Custer, and both of them exchanged pats on the back, as that's the first foul on Duncan. Each team has 14 fouls. That is ginormous. Here's the bounce pass at the other end. Boyle loses it but gets it back and loses it again. Here's Chanute quickly the other way. No time to catch your breath. Here's Seamster, and a block is called on Trey, and Seamster's going to shoot two with the clock frozen at 6 minutes.
As that was just, yeah, quite the interesting sequence as Trey tried to draw the charge again, and now he's getting an explanation from the ref on why it was called a block instead. So Seamster will get the ball and shoot his first pair.
First free throw is a swish for Seamster. As again, our Labette County girls play at Baldwin tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Tank Connection pregame show 5:45. This one misses. Rebound Xavier. 44-28 Labette, 6 minutes and counting as Eaton sheds Duncan pretty hard. He'll drive and jump stop, give it to Baker. Right back to Eaton, and Coach Argerbright wants a full 60 seconds as his team is in control, up 16 with 5:48 to go. We'd like to thank Labette Health one more time for making tonight's broadcast possible, and invite you to stay tuned for that Bowen Pharmacy postgame show and hear from Coach Argerbright. Other sponsors for the broadcast include
Other sponsors for tonight's game include Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clements Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, the Labette Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, the Unified School District of USD 506, the Corner Store of Altamont, Day and Zimmerman, and SEK Orthopedic.
Labette County outscored Chanute 19-12 in that third quarter, as that third quarter wasn't necessarily going to determine who won it, but it was maybe going to determine who was going to lose it,
Yes.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
At least in terms of momentum, swinging one way or the other. And if Chanute would have outscored Labette 19-12 in that quarter, then it would have been a 3-point Labette lead going into the final quarter. But Labette was up 17 going into that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's huge, as Labette County did what they needed to do as far as keeping pace, keeping momentum in their favor, and just continuing to close it out.
As Xavier Phillips throws it in with a smile on his face, as his friends and fellow classmates are in his ear over there on the far sideline. Baker catches it. He's been a problem for the team in white tonight. That's Chanute. Vincent one-on-one with Duncan, hands it off to Eaton. Stevenson on him. Fakes right, spins, and goes that way. Phillips off the pick and roll. 5:20 now in the game. Baker underneath, harassed. Vincent, left wing, and Labette is just burning some clock and awaiting the perfect shot. As Eaton throws it, and it's stolen by Seamster. Here's a kick to Duncan. He'll launch a three in the corner, miss a three in the corner, rebound Matthew, and Argerbright puts up both hands to act as a stop sign for Trey Vincent.
Yeah, there's a lot of times, especially when you have the lead and momentum, you want to move fast, you want to take it downhill. But Labette County needs to remain in control, be patient.
Labette nearly turns it over again as Chanute's becoming a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end, and they may be wondering why they haven't been this way all game, as they're gambling at the ball, swiping at the ball, and it's paying off, but that one rolled out of bounds. It'll stay with Labette. Couple subs for Chanute on the floor. Custer, Seamster, Stevenson, and that's Parker Hinson back in the game alongside Parker Manley. On the floor for Labette as Trey Vincent collects it. The other four with Trey are Griff, Hudson, Joe, and Xavier Phillips. 4:30 to go in the game. Labette still up 16. That gap is a lot if you're Chanute. Vincent controlling the ball well, goes up, under, and is hacked hard by Seamster, and will shoot a couple free throws.
As that was just a beautiful move there by Vincent, as he did an up and under just to shake off the defenders, keep the ball away from them, and almost finish the shot, but nonetheless would draw the foul and shoot two, as that'll be the second personal foul on Seamster. 15th foul for Chanute, as Labette County has 5 team fouls as well.
Trey's first of two is good, hit the front and back side of the iron. As if any of you watching on YouTube or listening can use your medias or whatnot, Twitter, I don't know, and find out what the score of the Bishop Miege Lewisburg game is, as I would highly assume as Trey knockdowns the second, Bishop is winning. But if someone could confirm that before the game is over, should Labette win this, that is, I sure would like to know. 46-28 the score, 4:15 fourth quarter. Three-pointer is missed on the right wing as Chanute continues ice-cold shooting, but the rebound is offensive. Seamster with another try, misses it short. Griff Eaton is collided on, and a foul is called on Chanute as 5 or 6 repetitive fist pumps are provided by our head coach, Bradley Argerbright.
Yeah, as Griff Eaton just got sandwiched between the two Chanute defenders, as that's going to be another foul on Chanute now, as that'll now move Chanute into the bonus. So Labette County will be shooting a one-on-one on that, as I believe that foul is going to go on Elliott Stevenson. That'll be his third personal foul, as that was a blocking foul there. And so Trey Vincent will shoot a 1-and-1.
Trey, 2 for 2 from the stripe, misses this one. Won't get a second. Here comes Chanute. 4 minutes to go. I'd say this is it. Stevenson gets downhill, Euros around Trey, up, under, and misses it. It's been that kind of night, and he's stripped on the way up, and it's stolen. He was going to go right back up and maybe score, but Joe and Xavier stripped it. Here's Griff off the knife speed. If I can talk English, that sure would help you interpret what's going on, but Griff is fouled, and he'll shoot two.
As that'll be Parker Manley's second personal foul, 8th team foul for Chanute. So they've gotten 3 personal fouls quick here, as Griff Eaton sinks his first free throw perfectly.
This is the Labette team coming off of their first win in their last 7 games. As thank you, David, for commenting on the YouTube channel, as Bishop is up 34 at halftime. So I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to play Miege if we win on Friday at Bishop. So our second long trip up north could be coming on Friday as Griff makes the second. Here's a missed shot by Chanute and a run out for Labette. A tipped pass up to Vincent and he'll score past the foul! Labette County rolling! They are on fire in Chanute High School.
And that was a lot of smiling and high-fiving there as Phillips went to pass it long up ahead and kind of got tipped, and then Baker just perfectly just gave it a little bounce pass straight to Trey, and he laid it in flawlessly and gets the foul. So what a finish there. As now Labette County's just having fun.
As that is the implement that they had been missing, is just the having fun and running the floor, as Trey misses the free throw, and then Seamster gets a bucket plus the foul at the other end. Seamster's been the only reason this is not a 30-point game, and I'm serious.
Yeah, he has definitely played hard tonight, and he should have nothing to hang his head about.
As he makes the free throw and has 11 second half points, and the lead for Labette County is 19. So yeah, you take away that 11, it's a 30-point game, advantage Labette County. .255 fourth quarter, Phillips left side. Vincent gives a little jab on Stevenson. Eaton working and gets around him. Phillips, as Labette's just kind of burning time, something that they're good at, not always getting the best shot at the end of the clock, but certainly good at burning those chunks when they need to.
Yes, that is one thing they've proven to us this season, is in situations when they've needed to, they have done very well with clock management.
2:15, Labette's had it for probably 40-45 seconds. As 2 Blue Comets come to the scores table for Coach Crabtree's squad, as they're going to go ahead and foul Xavier Phillips, and he's going to shoot. Is that double bonus? That is the 10th team foul on Chanute, so 2 free throws for Xavier approaching.
As that'll be Seamster's 3rd personal foul.
Xavier takes his time at the stripe, cocks it back, fires and connects.
As 2 new Blue Comets are going to check in, it'll be number 20, Jordan Duncan. And then for Elliott Stevenson, and Brax Peter will check in as well.
A 20-point Labette lead remains just that, as Xavier misses the second. 2 minutes and counting. 3-pointer from Seamsters up and missed. Rebounded by Peter underneath the basket, and he'll lay it in. Chanute been held to just 6 fourth quarter points. Labette with just 7, but it was defense that was going to win this game for Labette anyways. Here's Eaton. He had baseline but elected not to take it, and then a pass is tipped out by Custer, who then sags his shoulders after watching the ball roll out of bounds, as Chanute knows their season is 95 seconds away from being over. As you can hear, a few claps begin to grow throughout Grizzly Nation, seated before us and across from us in the gym here, as my goodness, what a performance, as I'm assuming Miege has a heck of a basketball squad, as they usually do, but certainly an outcome in this one that would make you do a double look at this Labette team before you take them on Friday, as we have a foul on Chanute.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be one of those things, at least for these Grizzlies, is just to know, like, hey, we're clicking on all fronts now. Everything, we're kind of pulling it all together, making it all work. So I just hope that they can carry this into Friday's game, as the energy just seen on the floor and the high fives and just the excitement has just been flawless from the team tonight, as they've just put it all together, and you're seeing that with just a very deadly offense and defense.
Second free throw for Griff is good. He hits both of them, as Griff has 11, and a whole new group of Grizzlies is going to come in, and those Grizzlies that are coming out are getting a standing O from Grizzly Nation. It's 53 Labette, 33 Chanute with 1:11 left in the game. Coach Argabright celebrating as the 5 on the floor for Labette County are Kashawn Feeling, wearing 14 this evening, suiting up varsity. Barrett Heston, Kendall Holtzman, Dylan Johnson, and Cooper Baher. As Chanute checks in some of those guys as well for their squad. Cooper Luke, a 5'7" junior on the floor for Chanute. As also in there is Chris Harding, as they're kind of far away now. It looks like Raleigh Chard, Cohen Wheeler, and on the left wing, I'll try to get a name on that in a moment. But anyways, Chanute has the ball in a half-court set as their season's going to come to an end. A 12 seed is going to take down a 5 seed, as that's something that on the way up here I just kept thinking and shaking my head. This is a Labette team and a Chanute team where 7 seeds does not separate these two teams.
No, yeah, I
If
would agree.
anything, before the year, I would have guessed Labette was the 5 and Chanute was the 12, and it certainly looked like that tonight. As the ball rolls out of bounds, it'll stay with Chanute. As the 5th Chanute Blue Comet has to be Landon Bilby. He's the only one in there that I don't have marked off. Chanute has it, 30 seconds to go in the game. Labette up 20, playing some defense to close it out. You'd like to see us try to get a shot off, as here's a hook shot hit by Chanute's Raleigh Chard, and the home team always loves it when the bench players get those buckets. Feeling kicks it out to Johnson. Holtzman wants to try to get a 3 off left wing as Heston has it. Holtzman launches and misses it. And here comes Chanute with 2 seconds as they're going to try to get one off, and they don't. Labette County wins it, and they're moving on to Friday night basketball at Bishop Miege in the Sub-State Championship game in Sub-State. Coach Argabright turns to celebrate with the Grizzly faithful, and we'll celebrate with him here in a few minutes on the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show. Labette wins it 53-35. What a showing by Labette County. We'll be back in 3 minutes with our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show and hear from head coach Bradley Argabright. Welcome in, Grizzly Nation, for back-to-back victorious Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Grizzly basketball. Labette gets it done in Chanute, led from the jump and never looked back. 53-35, our Grizzlies get it done. As we did get word, again, thank you, David, in the YouTube comments, Bishop Miege leads Lewisburg 39-76 at the end of the third. So that tells the tale. We're going to be going to Bishop on Friday night. Meanwhile, as I look at the numbers in front of me, for Labette County, 3 different scores in double figures. Joe Page was 1 point away from being the 4th Grizzly in double figures. He had 9. Trey Vincent and Griff Eaton each had 12. As goodness, wouldn't that be a treat, if Trey Vincent and Griff Eaton combined for 20 or more?
Yeah.
That's a tough Grizzly team to beat. And Isabel, here's a number. Hudson Baker had 11. He was held to 2 points in that second half. We talked about that at the halftime show. We said even if they hold Hudson and they cap him off, I still like our chances because of how that first half went, and that reigned true. Hudson just scored 2 points in the second half, but Labette had a 19-point third quarter and canned Chanute's hopes. Xavier Phillips had 5 and Matthew Boyle had 4. For Chanute, Seamster had 15. He was the main reason this was not a complete blowout.
Yeah.
Stevenson had 8, all those but 2 in the first half. Duncan had 6, Custer had 2, Peter and Chard each had 2 as well. At the end of the first quarter, it was 14-4 Labette. In the second quarter, each team scored 11. In the third quarter, Labette did what they needed to do and won the third quarter. That was huge. 19-12 advantage Labette in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, it was more or less just kind of Labette hanging on and Chanute jacking up prayers, and Labette outscored Chanute 9-8 in the fourth quarter. Isabel, the last time we had a call that sounded like that and a team that looked like that was probably January 3rd when we played this team at home, back in the midst of our really nice start to league play in the winter. But what gave us glimpses and flashbacks to that team that we love to watch play early on in the season?
I think it was one of those things where they put it all together, I think is kind of what I can best describe it as. We saw flashes of offense. We saw their defense has been pretty consistent all along, but we've seen flashes of offense, flashes of, people getting hot, flashes of people that, we've been able to kind of bits and pieces here and there. But tonight it was just a well-oiled machine that they were able to just perform so well. And it was fun. They were having fun. They had good team chemistry on the floor. They were working the ball around well. They really broke up Chanute's defense several times, very well, and I was really impressed with that. But I think that's something that we missed, is being able to have that offensive confidence and just shoot freely. And we talked about that even in pregame, of whatever team could come out and just shoot with confidence and just let the ball fly, they were going to be victorious. And that's exactly what happened for our Grizzlies tonight.
As Coach Argerbright is just a few strides from making his way up to us. Isabel, if you have any questions in mind for Coach, we can get out that third headset. I know sometimes you just like to hand him yours, so feel free to do that if you would so desire. But here he comes. Labette wins it 53-35. A big-time win for Labette County. Congrats, Coach. As you knew, leaving the gym Friday, and especially with how the last game here ended, it was the perfect recipe for what just happened.
Yeah. The
game that we had last here, and coming off of a win, our first in 7 tries or 6 tries. So what went right tonight that just hadn't been clicking?
We made some shots. That was the key in the third. Shoot, I'm looking at it. We hit 5 threes in the third, so that was a big part of it. When you make shots, it just amplifies, what you're doing, and it really sets the tone on your defense when you're confident. But postseason basketball is about defense, and we've bought in the last, I want to say since Fort Scott, that I've really challenged them on their defense. And they bought in, and no one wants to play defense that bad. It's one of those things I have to fight all year. But when we play defense and we hold people under 40, we're gonna have a chance with anybody. And it was our defense that really propelled us tonight. But hitting shots helped too. But playing together, I look at the scorebook, 12-12, 11-9. That's what Labette County's been doing all year. We've been sharing the ball. We've had different guys step up and be a leading scorer all year. So just for them to play together, and that extra pass tonight was was a big deal. You know, we had wide open shots where we were just finding guys, and Hudson Baker was a big key.
Yeah, he was. Coach, we played Chanute 3 times now this season and held them to 38, 32, and 35.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and that's a top-ranked team in 4A. I think they're ranked 7th at the end of the season. So, you know, just a testament to what we believe in, and the kids bought in tonight. And, you know, for the second straight year, I'm proud to say that we're going to have a chance to go to the dance. You know, we give ourselves that chance, and, you know, if we go play well on Friday, we'll have a great chance to go to state tournament. So, just really excited, and I know we're going to play Miege. So, you don't even have to look it up, Jack, and they won big.
Yeah, well,
they were up, I think, 78-32 going in the 4th.
Yeah, I had someone comment, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, it's going to be Miege. That is that's Friday.
It's either at 6 or 7.
Okay.
It depends on how far away and what Keisha lets us do there. So
okay.
It will be at 6 or 7, and it will be at Bishop Miege. So we're going to go give them all we have.
That's right, and I can tell you right now, when Miege settles down tomorrow, tonight, whatever, and looks at this score, they're going to kind of do a double take and think, hey, this Chanute beat Miege in Miege a handful of years ago, and
yep, you're right.
And your team's kind of playing like that Chanute team was, and you can go in and pull the blanket out from under those guys.
Yeah, you know, we're going to go, and the only thing that I'm going to preach is that we go play hard and that we give them our best shot, because, you know, we've earned that chance. There's only 16 teams left now in 4A. You know, and I told the guys that I'm so thankful that I get to be with them for 3 more days. So it's going to make us better as a program. You know, the farther you get to go in the season, the more practice time you get, more situations. I really thought at the end of the game that we controlled the clock and didn't turn it over, and played a little bit of keep away, and we did that at the end of the first half too. That, you know, just really slowed it down and didn't let them have chances when we stepped up to the line. We made some free throws tonight too, so that was a big deal. Yeah.
As it's hard to just kind of pick a guy and say, man, what do you think about him? It was just one of those where it was just like, man, Coach, how do you think we played? It was just so fun to watch. You know, you had Eaton and Vincent. I guess you could talk about those 2 guards combining for, 24? That's going to be hard for any team to overcome.
Yeah, they're both playing really well right now. Griff shot it extremely well tonight, and then hit some free throws down the stretch. So I'm really, really proud of those 2 kids, you know. But as I say all the time, you know, they've been in the program for 4 years. They've played for me at the varsity level for 3 years, and you know, those 2 kids, I've challenged them for 3 years now, and to watch seniors step into their role, that's what they should do in postseason play. So just really proud of those guys.
That's right. As coach, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I know that's got to feel good.
Yeah.
After, in the midst of all those losses a couple weeks ago, we said there's still time to scratch that ceiling again, and it happened the night that it had to.
Yeah, I've been telling them, you know, we went through that bad stretch, and then I told them we were still playing good basketball. You know, we just had to get some momentum, and to see us finally play a just about a complete game, I would say, tonight. Probably for the first time all season. We've had spurts where we were really good, and then we'd have a 2-minute stretch going bad. So a full, complete effort of focus, and I'm excited for Friday, and, you know, we're going to have a chance to go to the dance. So we're gonna give it our best shot, and I appreciate our crowd. You know, we had a great crowd in a hostile environment. So really proud of our program, and I hope that we can get some fans up there in Miege. You know, we want a chance to, you know, go up there and shock them a little bit. So.
That's right. Best of luck.
Anything else.
Go do it.
I'm excited for these kids. I'm really proud of these seniors, and thank you guys. Go Grizzlies.
Thank you, Coach. Go get them on Friday, as I would assume that he said either 6 or 7. Just keep your eyes on things, as you guys all know to do in today's media world. But, Isabel, you have anything else? It was a fun one.
No, I don't. I think Coach said it really well, and we just, I mean, if you want to see how I feel, just go back and watch that game again, because that was a fun one. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you on Friday.
Labette wins at 53-35. Moving on Friday night to Bishop Miege to take on the Stags. Again, one more reminder before we close up tonight's broadcast. We'll be live tomorrow at 5:45 for the Tank Connection pregame show in Baldwin, Kansas, up there in between Ottawa and Lawrence for our girls contest, as they'll be battling for the sub-state championship as well. For Lucas Hayward and Isabel Redford, my name's Jack Leake. Thank you, Grizzly Nation, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast of Grizzly Basketball.